Hi guys. First off, let me apologize for having not uploaded any videos recently. The reason for this is if you remember in my last video, I said that I do have another channel. I'll link that so you could check it out. And I'm a little bit more busy on that or a little bit more active on that channel than I am here because to be honest, I don't really do that many hair related videos. I really don't style my hair as often and I don't do anything special with it. I wash every 2 weeks. I do a hot oil treatment most times when I wash every 2 weeks. And once I've washed and it's dried, this is pretty much what it's like for the next 2 weeks until it's time to wash and condition and do a hot oil treatment again. So, you know, in all honesty, there's not much going on with my hair, so I haven't made any hair related videos. But on that note, this video is a video response to someone who commented on my recent updated lock extension video. I'll link that for you as well. And Folklore, and I hope I said that correctly, she commented on that video. She said that the hair extensions that I did looked really natural. Thank you. And she also wanted to know if I could share any advice for people who wanted to start locks, whether I would advise that they start their lock journey with lock extensions. So, this is a video response to those questions. So, I'll get right into it. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before in any of my lock videos on this channel, but in all honesty, this is not my first lock rodeo, okay? Um, this is actually my fourth set of locks, if you want to say that. So prior to having these set installed and sticking with it, I began a lock journey 3 times. So the first time I started my lock journey, I went to a lady and she started it with the comb coil method. It's where you take a comb and you coil your hair so that you start the lock process. Now she used gel to start my hair, and that might work for a few people, but my issue was I have eczema, and one of the issues that I struggle with is dry scalp. And so she installed it with um, gel, and I think she used the black gel, not the clear one, the black one. So once it dried, my hair started to flake. And I guess she used so much that my scalp was flaking all over the place. It was itchy. It was, I don't know. And yeah, when she installed those comb coils with that black gel, honey, I don't think those lasted more than a week in my hair. I could not take it. The flaking alone was driving me nuts. And I took those down after a week. And then I tried again. And I also went to another lady the second time around. And she installed it the same way. She installed using the comb coil method. I don't really remember if she used gel, and I want to say she didn't because that set lasted longer. I think I kept that set in for 2 months. Um, so I don't think she used gel. But I took those down as well after 2 months because it was the same issue for me. I would go to her every 2 weeks to have my hair washed because, of course, I didn't want to do it myself. I was new to the lock journey. I didn't know what the process was. So I went to her to wash my hair every 2 weeks. And she would wash it. I think it's called the sock method, where you put a cap or something on your hair and, you know, they wash it. That's how she would do it. And then she would retwist and I would be on my way. That worked for a little while, but I think what happened is my hair or my scalp, given the fact that I suffer with dry scalp, the washing method wasn't enough to give me enough of a clean scalp. And so I think after the 2 weeks or after a while, with the constant retwisting of my hair, the product started to build up and it was the same issue again. I would have um, not flaky scalp, but very, very itchy scalp. I could not tolerate the itchiness. I would try washing or cleansing my scalp with some antiseptic. I think it was called Sea Breeze or something like that. And I tried to use that to cleanse my scalp, but that didn't work. Okay, listen, my scalp is weird. Um, when it's dirty and it decides it's itching, nothing works other than a good old shampoo and some conditioner. So when I couldn't deal with that again, I took it down. So my third set of locks I installed myself, and I use lock extension. And those were in the traditional lock size. Um, and I actually kept those in for, I think, I want to say maybe a year plus. Um, they were really nice. I liked the size. I liked how when I installed them, I had my locks right then and there. I didn't have to go through um, the short phase. I didn't have to deal with any of the non pleasant um, parts of locking that you typically go through when you go the natural process. And I think I took those down after a year or 2 years. And the reason for that was not because I didn't like it, but it became really heavy after a while as my hair grew. And I normally treated it as traditional locks. So as my hair grew in, I would palm roll any new growth that I got and style it. But what happened was, as my hair continued to grow and get longer, I found that when I washed it, it became really heavy. Like, it was so heavy, and I'm very tender headed. So the weight just seemed, it became too much to bear. And unfortunately, I had to cut it. And then in June of 2013, that's when I actually started this set of locks. And that's what I've had 4 years later. And these I just installed not with extensions, I installed them just using the interlock method on my own hair, and they will lock from the get go. So, folklore. To answer your question, would I advise people starting their lock journey with extensions? I'd say it depends. Um, if you're someone who you've decided to take on your lock journey because you want to actually go through the entire lock journey process, then I would say no. Do not start your lock journey with extensions. And the reason for that is lock extensions, they basically eliminate all the phases that you would go through if you went through the lock journey naturally. But that's what makes the lock journey the lock journey. It's because you experience all these different phases of locking your hair, and then you get to really, when you get to actually locked phase of your hair, you get to appreciate it and you get to love it more. Um, and that's what I would say for me, right? Because these set of locks, they were started on my natural hair. My hair was short when I started it, but my hair was, when I first installed them and interlocked them, they were very short. But 4 years down the road, I have loved my locks as they've grown, and I've grown with them because I remember the stage I was when I started them. And I get to appreciate how much they've grown over the 4 years, how long, how much I've had to change some of them. I started with micro locks over the years. I've merged some of them, I've split some of them, and it's just a whole process. But I love my locks because of it. So if you're in it for this reason, then don't get your lock journey started with lock extensions. On the flip side of the coin, um, if you don't really care about the lock journey process, you just know that you want to lock your hair for whatever reason, you've made up your mind that you want to do it, then I'd say by all means go ahead. It eliminates you having to deal with all the unpleasant phases of the locking journey. And the good thing about it is, once you've installed your lock extensions, you have your length and your thickness from the get go. You don't have to really wait and hope that your hair, you know, grows properly or it locks properly, or you don't have the issues of not being able to wash your hair as often as you'd like to. So if you want to do your locks just for the look and any other reason but experiencing the different phases of the locking journey, then I'd say yes. I would advise, if you want to, go ahead and start your lock, your lock journey with lock extensions. And you can use synthetic hair, you could use human hair. I'll link, I'll try to get a link to the human hair I used when I first installed my lock extensions, and I have that video as well, so I will link that down in the description box as well. But the first time I did lock extensions was with human hair, and I don't know. Backtrack. The first time I did lock extensions, which was on my third set of locks, I used synthetic hair. When I had this set of locks, my fourth set of locks installed, and I later wanted to add a little bit of extensions to those, I used human hair. And there are various methods of lock extension. And if you're interested in going that route, there are also tons of videos here on YouTube that would be able to direct you on how to do your lock extensions. But by all means, if that's the way you would like to go, then by all means go ahead. But like I said, if you're interested in it just because, if you're someone who wants to do it to experience the phases, then I would advise against it. All right, so that was my response. I hope it was useful to you. I hope it met your expectations. If anybody has any other questions or similar questions that they would like me to answer, please feel free to send me a message or drop it down in the comment box below. As mentioned earlier, I'm very much more active on my other channel compared to this one, so please feel free to check that out. I have uploaded my most recent lock extension updated video on there as well, which is also on this channel, but I am considering merging the two channels, so I may consider uploading my other hair videos on those as well. The videos that are on this channel, I am considering uploading those to my other channel as well, because it's getting to be a little time consuming trying to manage two channels. I do have my other channel, and I have a corresponding blog that I run with that as well, so it's starting to get a little bit hectic. So let me know if you guys wouldn't mind me merging the two and having some hair videos on that channel as well. Yeah, let me know. And thank you to all my subbies and the new ones who've joined. I hope you've enjoyed the content so far. Please leave suggestions as to the types of videos you'd like to see, and any other suggestions or questions or concerns that you have, please feel free to leave them down in the comment box below. And Folklore, again, thanks for your question. I hope this response was useful to you, and thanks for watching, guys. You'll catch me in the next one. Bye.